Great news! Hooray! Finally, people of the verse, welcome to the channel. Star Citizen Alpha 3.11 is finally at the hands of the Evocati test flight group. I am the Eradicator, your host. By the way, I wanted to give a huge shout out before I start the video. I forgot, but a huge shout out to Felix, who just recently became a Patreon of this channel. So thank you so much, Felix. And I also wanted to give a shout out to the latest people who recently joined Star Citizen via my referral program, which is also very nice. So thank you so much to David Drobick and Captain for recently purchasing Star Citizen with the code that you will find in the description down below, which gives you an extra 5,000 of UEC. Now, that being said, guys, let's talk about the latest patch notes for Star Citizen Alpha 3.11.08. This is a patch note that is brought to you, of course, by the Star Citizen Leaks Discord channel. They are always very kind on telling us about what is going on. And you know that I've stopped showing pictures, I don't do that anymore, but I still think that the patch notes are okay, so that we can have a better idea of when the patch will be released and what they are working on. I think that we should, that the general public should be aware, in my opinion, of what's going on in those particular Evocati builds, so that we can have a better understanding of the progress and more transparency, in my opinion, of course. So here's what we are going to start here. We'll talk about the new features. So they've updated the creator with new head designs. Apparently there are at least two new heads, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are a couple more. So that's great. We're gonna have a little bit more choice when we are creating new characters. It was a little bit, in my opinion, the choice was a little bit limited. I'm glad to see that there's going to be more of that. They have added space station cargo decks. So the cargo decks are facilities within rest stops where players can handle all their cargo needs, from dropping off and picking up, buying new cargo equipment, and taking on cargo-related missions. Now, so far, there haven't been any leaks regarding cargo-related missions, so we don't know what those are. They are maybe not in the game yet, because they do tell us at the beginning of the patch notes that this patch does not include all of the intended features, and so far we don't know what kind of new cargo equipment will be available there too. But I hope that this will make it in further builds too. Now, weapons and items, new FPS weapon, the Bearing BR2 shotgun is there, originally designed for the military. Bearing decided to sell the BR2 ballistic shotgun to the general public after the initial weapon testers kept requesting to take one home. Featuring a semi-auto fire mode that can rapidly deliver devastating stopping power, the BR2 is the ideal choice for both offensive and defensive operations. It can have a size 1 optics, size 3 barrels, size 2 under barrels. Now, when it comes to gameplay, they've added the front-end refactor that we did see in the last Inside Star Citizen episode, so updating to the front-end UI to use the building block system, adding options to the friend list to pin to the side of the screen, and button to remove all notifications, prison commissary vending machine updates as well. So the commissary vending machines in prison updated to use merits to purchase items, and prison enhancement, they've updated the escape route to be more complex, so that players can have a harder time to escape. Well, they don't want players to they want players to struggle to escape, and I understand that. But I'm sure we'll find new videos here from some of the experts on YouTube. Not really my cup of tea as far as I'm concerned. I like to send people to prison. I don't enjoy going to prison, but I'm sure that some of you guys, some of the more criminal-oriented content creators, will make a video for that. Now, they've also improved throw tier 1. We're no longer going to have tier 0. This is tier 1. Improving grenade throwing to make it more accurate and reliable, as well as expanding the throwing mechanic to accommodate to other objects in the world. They've updated the space station interior layouts. This is something that some people have been requesting on Spectrum lately, so that I'm glad to hear that, because right now this is also something that Morphologist complained in one of his videos, explaining that right now they don't really make sense. So hopefully they will make sense this time, and they said that space station interiors have been adjusted to help players find their way around them. You can use the interior elevators to access multiple levels of the station, including the hangars and hubs. Okay, common area and new cargo decks. So it seems like it's a complete rework of the station interiors. It will be interesting to explore those stations in the PTU. Oh, listen to that. Hostility updates. Acquiring a missile lock on the target is now considered a hostile action against AI and other players, allowing them to attack the person locking them without being the aggressor. Very nice. Very nice. Adding options to default select relative mouse for turn, that's okay. The Grey Cat Rock is now going to be purchasable in-game in the PTU, and according to Star Citizen Leaks Discord channel, the rock costs 172,000 Alpha UEC, which is quite affordable. You can get that relatively easily. I think you need to make like 20 investigation PI mission to do that, so that's quite okay. I think if you just have a starter ship, for example. So I like that very much, especially considering that you can make some decent money with a rock. I think that it is great that they give players an option to rapidly be able to make money so that they can purchase more ships. We need to have incentives for people to be motivated to play, and this will be part of it. Even though I am not a miner myself, I am excited about that quite a bit. Okay, there's a couple of more here. So they increased the max button limit for joystick controllers from 50 to 128. Wow, that's gonna be a lot of buttons. My joystick doesn't have so many buttons. And the right mouse button, or equivalent for pit, for baggage, should cancel and close the quick select wheels. Okay, yes, I remember that it was not able to do that before. Now, let's move on to some of the major bug fixes here. The mining nodes should no longer change composition if a player scans it, which leaves the area. Let me do it again. So the mining nodes should no longer change composition if a player scans it, leaves the area, and returns. Oh, okay, I see what I mean. So in the past, when you were leaving an area and you will come back, maybe a rock that would have some diamonds, would have some barrel when you return, right? So I see what you mean. So that's not the case anymore. There is more persistence here for mining nodes. Diamond icons should no longer remain displayed after surface deposits have been mined. Oh, I have been tricked by this so many times, especially on Microtech, when I've been mining a lot of those, you know, hand mineable minerals. I left the area and I fly about 10 minutes, and then I see a big node. I say, oh yeah, cool, and I come back and it's exactly the one that I mined before. That is not going to be there anymore, and I'm glad that this was fixed. They fixed a missing geometry inside the parry caterpillar near the upper catwalk doors that was allowing players to fall through. Oh, why just the parry caterpillar? Interesting that a skin can do that. Space Station Ace-Up terminal should now correctly show the landing pad of the ship that is spawned on when looking at the location column. Karak should no longer be missing SDFs on the nose of the ship. Players should no longer be launched when exiting EVA, or end up in an unresponsive state with their client and is running when their client is running very low on FPS. Well, we need to have extra work here on EVA. One of the big issues that I have with EVA is that every time you are landing in the ship or in the pad, you end up face first and you are losing life. Some people have died doing that. This is something that needs to be fixed. Players should no longer tilt suddenly when exiting EVA into a ship if the ship has rotated. Oh, it does that even if the ship does not rotate. Players should now teleport into the spaceport instead of the hangar after the ship if it is impounded on a pad. Okay, that's going to be quite practical. The elevator pillars in underground facilities should now have collisions. The Grim X clothing shopkeeper should now be in his correct usable position. Placeholder text should no longer be present when accessing the Anvil ships and components via Mobiglass. Okay, cool. Players should no longer take damage or fail out of a turret in the constellation if they exit the lower turret while attempting to move forward. How can people think of finding those bugs? I mean, kudos to the EVOCATIs for trying those bugs. That is some serious hardcore testing that I would never even think of doing here. There should be a piece of geometry clipping. There should no longer be a piece of geometry clipping through the floor and elevator interior at a pad arrival at her L3. Who goes to her L3? But again, kudos to the EVOCATIs for finding this out. Right-clicking on the player in your contact list near the bottom of the screen in Mobiglass will no longer cut off the drop-down UI. Players should no longer A-pose when interacting with a standing engineer station in the Hammerhead, Retaliator, or Vanguard. A new baggage hanger labeled number 16 from the outside should now have the correct hanger number. Fixed gaps in the wall near Grimex hangar elevators where players can see out of the game world. I never noticed that too. They fixed 4 client crashes, 3 server crashes too. And let's have a look still at the known issues. Not a big list. I am a little bit surprised. I don't think that they fixed so many issues. I think that they're just ignoring some of the older issues, but we shall see. Maybe they did, right? So missile countermeasures are undergoing a small update that isn't complete yet. More details on these changes will be added soon once it is done. Returning to the customizer after accepting changes will cause UI options to become unresponsive, forcing a client restart. It's okay. Just who returns to the customizer? Usually I do the customizer once and then I'm done with it, but I suppose some people want to make modifications on their faces, perhaps. After initiating quantum travel around New Babbage Microtech, the player can be ejected from their ship, leaving them stranded in space. Oh, that is a pretty bad one. I can only imagine the face of testers figuring this out. They were like, what is going on, you know? And obviously the only thing left to do is to die when this happens. When initiating a call with another user, the initial call ends immediately while creating a direct message group. Epilepsy warning! Oh my goodness, here's another one here. When hitting an asteroid with a laser, the user can be met with flashing VNX on the glowing asteroid. Oh, that must be interesting to look at, but I can totally imagine that it could make some people feel very uncomfortable. Boxes spawned around derelicts render in and out when the player is at a relatively close distance. Confirmed, I have seen that in Star Citizen of 3.10. Apparently, center mass and whammers are empty in New Babbage. That is an old bug that is coming back here again in this PTU version. The player can die when moving to the center of the tram when it is in transit. Okay, sometimes, you know, I remember there was I think that was in Star Citizen 3.5 where players were, no, that was not in 3.5, in 3.7, sorry, Star Citizen 3.7, when people were randomly dying outside of Zone 2 in Area 18. If you were walking under the Feast Taste the French commercial, you were randomly dying like that too. Sometimes it happens. The player, so some ships and vehicles can be left in a broken state after spawning. This was the case with the Freelancer. It was supposed to be fixed, but apparently it is happening again, and this time with more ships. There's got to be something here in the code that needs to be fixed, and the devs are going to have to figure out so that eventually this bug stops, right? Boxes fall through the floor upon arriving in the general vicinity of Outpost. Oh no, falling boxes making a return in Alpha 3.11, and I thought that we were done with those. That is another legacy bug, I would say, that has been going on since the very beginning of boxes in 3.0. Mission does not progress further once the player arrives at the mining claim. Again, this is a bug that is not just affecting the mining claim, it's affecting sometimes also ECN missions too. Tisha Pacheco does not play her dialogue lines during your first encounter following the appointment mission, and ships can be displayed as unknown after destruction and be available to spawn again, but will not appear on their specific landing pad. I have this bug right now with my Cutlass Red in Star Citizen Alpha 3.10. That's it for this patch note. I am really excited that it is finally hitting the PTU for EVOCATIs only, unfortunately. I hope that this is going to be a smooth ride for the EVOCATIs, because as I'm doing that, it is September 15th. We are heading, of course, for a delay. I cannot imagine this being in the hands of the EVOCATIs for less than 2 weeks. So at the earliest, probably we will see this patch at Wave 1 by the end of the month, meaning that Star Citizen 3.11, just as I mentioned a couple of videos ago, will be delayed. Hopefully it will not be delayed as badly as 3.10. 3.10 was just a month and 5 days. That was really crazy. Let's hope that it's not going to be that bad. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget that this month we've got a giveaway. We are giving away a Talent Shrike thanks to Buzz69 with lifetime insurance, and also I am giving away on top of that a rock and a cutlass black in a package with lifetime insurance too. All you have to do to catch yourself winning is to be a subscriber of this channel and comment to any videos posted this month. The winner will be announced early October. Good luck to everybody. Once again, thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.